kind of exciting mixed with so challenging all at the same time, which sounds so strange to say it that way. But to be chair of a committee like this, or really any committee for that matter, you've got to listen to what everyone has to bring to the table. We're a really large committee. There's about 10 of us. And so we all represent different areas of DAPER. And so we're all kind of representing our area and department to the fullest, which is important for a culture committee first and foremost. And then we all come with very different perspectives. And as the chair, I feel like it's really important for us to make sure that all voices are heard.
Being a co-chair of the culture committee, well, what started as conversations with Allie about culture in our cubicles has led to co-chairing this DAPER Culture Committee. And, you know, for that, I'm very grateful. It's been a journey. It's been, you know, tons of learning and growth, just being a part of a diverse group of people who are willing to show up and focus on this incredibly important topic of culture has been a great experience. So having a strong culture during some unprecedented times such as these is important. I think having a strong culture allows us to just connect to our purpose more intentionally. And in the midst of confusion and anxiety, if you're a member of a department that wants the best for each other, you know, I feel that DAPER is getting through this because of our ability to stay connected and our interest in staying connected. So, you know, we're facing some tough times, but we're in this together. And I think that the support has shown and has helped.
I think I can honestly say that our biggest challenge have been some of our greatest opportunities, as cheesy as that sounds. We've had some really hard, honest, transparent discussions around culture at DAPER in an effort to try and find common ground for our whole department. So as a leader on that committee, it can be really hard to piece all of the different voices and opinions together in order to come up with one consistent product or initiative. These hard conversations can also slow down the process when we're working on something like our shared behaviors initiative, because there's this overwhelming feeling of like, we really want to get this right for the greater good of our department. And so sometimes these challenging, difficult conversations as we get to one step in the process of developing initiatives can sort of hold us up a bit, but then we rumble through it and then move on. I feel like we should call it more like a long-term vision instead of long-term goals. You know, it's funny, we've had so many conversations around culture and what it should look like and feel like for our department that we found that we're creating timelines and goals that are constantly shifting as we go. And so we found that it's important to stay like really fluid through this process because we want to allow room for discussion when something doesn't quite feel right. Right now, I guess I would say our high level goal is to make sure that we aren't just checking off boxes along the way. And, you know, continuing really hard conversations and making sure that we're not just throwing up our shared values and saying, okay, those sound good, and then forgetting about them 2 years down the road. So I think that is probably one of our long-term visions and the thing that kind of drives us through the processes and decisions that we make as a committee.
Yes. So the shared behaviors document started from a Brene Brown quote, and really we gained our momentum from some of her articles where she talks about operationalizing a culture by operationalizing your values and by creating actions that align with the values and are motivating and inspiring and that members of a community would want to be engaged with. So we held some focus groups, and through the focus groups, we were able to get a great pulse of the current environment, the current culture as members of DAPER see it now. So the mission statement, or what was the mission statement, and the values, they all seem to be working, right? That's kind of what we found from speaking to the DAPER community in the focus groups, but there was something missing, and that missing piece was action and purpose behind these words and these statements. So that's where the shared behavior document and initiative was born, through talking to our colleagues. Through those conversations, we found that action was needed and action statements were needed. So now we have a shared behavior document, and it's certainly not the end. It's really just the beginning of this push to walk our talk and really live our values.
Wow, we've tackled a lot in a year. I'm really proud of the work that's been done around our shared behaviors so far, but there's still so much more to be done there. I'm so proud of the formation of our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee that's chaired by Larry Anderson, and our community subgroup that's tri-chaired by Meg French, Ann Verspril, and Carol Elder. I'm really proud of the engagement from our staff at our weekly coffee chats and their willingness to engage in challenging conversations around topics like, oh gosh, systemic racism, inclusion, allyship, LGBTQ+. I'm just proud of the brainstorming that happens as a result of these discussions on how we can be better together as a unit, and creating a culture that feels less siloed. And then, I mean, of course, I'm really proud of the culture committee and the people who serve on it. They're just so wonderful to work with. And I honestly don't know that I could ask for a better team. They make it so easy to chair that committee.
I am most proud of the feedback we've received from a few people, and maybe more folks are even thinking this, but there seems to be a difference that our culture committee has made in the humanity of our department. So in the ability to get us together and to stay connected and to stay interested in each other's lives during this difficult time and beyond. Um, I'm proud of really all the work that's done behind the scenes in order to create that shift and that energy of humanity and compassion and just support for each other that I do believe we've helped to contribute to. But I think that without colleagues supporting our initiatives and encouraging us to, you know, keep doing the coffee chats and showing up at the focus groups, none of this would be possible. So I'm really proud of how DAPER has shown up for us and the shift that it's made within our department.